Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 50 something. Oh, 57. 57. Um, why ask why? Let's call it that. Why ask why? Let me just tell you that one of the most useless questions that we can ask is why. It it is a circular mind game. And I am certainly 100% guilty of this as well, of running myself in circles looking for why. Why is this happening? Why isn't this happening? Why do I feel like this? Why do I act like this? Why do I look like this? It must be a past life. It must be my childhood. It must be this. It must be that. But if you notice, we never ever really get to a good answer. So let's say you have a spider phobia and you go do EMDR work on it, and you remember that you had a traumatic experience when you were 3, and there happened to be a spider present, and so you transferred your trauma to the spider. This happens actually quite a bit. Um, it's easier to transfer your trauma to something innocuous, like a spider or, a pickle or something, where you're just like, from then on, then you're scared to death of pickles. But it really had nothing to do with the pickle, it was about the trauma. Anyway, I digress. It doesn't really change anything. Very rarely are we able to ask why and find the reason, assuming there's only one, which is also rare, and feel like, okay, bada bing, bada boom, we're done with that. I got why, and I don't need to think about this anymore. How often, honestly, has that happened to you? Normally, we are digging with axe, pick, and shovel. We find one answer to the why question, but nothing changes. So we go back and go, well, there must be another why, and there must be another why. And you know what? There's never any end to the whys. I was a therapist and social worker for years, and I've been social working and therapizing myself forever and ever. And I'll tell you, there's never an end to the why question. There's always some other why. Well, you might ask, why then do we do that? Well, our mind likes it. Our mind likes to feel in charge. Our mind likes to figure things out. If we were really good in school, we got behaviorally rewarded, and so brain chemistry rewarded for getting the right answer to the why question. We got, we cut our teeth on gold stars, and forever after, then we really, really want the gold star. It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to get the A plus. It feels good to get um, the validation. It feels good to be seen. But then when we get into the realm of personal growth, asking those questions is just it's a downward spiral that you never reach the bottom of. So why is that? How come when you get the answer to why, you don't feel any better? Well, the reason is you can't resolve these things in words. You can't ask why, get an answer, and feel better, because the point is not the why. The point is to feel. I was about to say the point is the cry, but that sounds like a horrible, horrible coachy bumper sticker. The point is not the why, the point is to cry. What an awful t-shirt. Doesn't that sound awful, like cat poster philosophy? The worst fortune cookie ever? And also, it is true. It's true. The point isn't getting that answer, that verbal problem X is solved by answer Y. It doesn't work like that because it doesn't involve feeling it, and it doesn't involve engaging with the body and feeling the feelings that were frozen in time from long, long ago that are driving your behavior and driving your your ability to see things in your life. You've got to feel it. That's the bad news. I'm so sorry, but you've got to feel your feels. You've got to feel the big feels, and you've got to feel the little feels. You have to feel all the feels. Okay, I'm done. That's your bad news. See you on episode 57. Just kidding. But it is true. So you can answer why all day long. You can find 500 gazillion million past lives or alternate reality experiences. But until you move that energy of emotion in the body, and it is just energy, until you move that through your physical container, your flesh, blood, and bone vehicle, you might feel better for a minute, but your life is not going to change. You're not going to see anything different. You might feel better for a few days, but then you notice that familiar bad feeling is right back. And you're like, but I thought I explained it. Even human design can't help you on this one because, let me say that differently. Human design is actually the answer to this. If you don't let human design become another mental, interesting game for your mind to play. In human design, they call this conditioning, right? The stories that we get, the spider that we transfer the trauma memory to. We don't remember the trauma, we just remember the spider. The gold star behavioral conditioning. It's conditioning. We're conditioned to look outside of ourselves for answers, for rewards, for validation that we have a right to exist, for permission to be here and take up space and breathe the air and be a part of this life and to be fully present. We're trained from very early age to look outside ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that, except that we've been grown up for a while now, and we need to get on board with it's the opposite now. When you're a kid, a lot is influenced from the external. When you're grown up, you need to learn to change your external from the inside out. So that puts us right back where we all spend a lot of time trying to avoid. Getting down in your body, being aware of yourself, sitting in the silence, and letting those feelings come up. And feeling like you might lose your mind, but that's just another mental story designed to squish it all, right? And we don't have to, and often we can't, feel the full force of our emotions all at once. Sometimes, and depending on the context, we have to kind of turn it down a little bit, modulate it a touch, let a little steam out of the pot frequently enough that it eventually is felt enough. And then the thoughts might come back, but the feelings don't, are not in the same way. They're like a shadow. It's like a habit. You kind of feel like you want to be sad, but you can't really muster up the actual feeling. It's more of a, hey, I think we're supposed to be sad right now because of this, but you don't really feel sad. If you really sit with it, you're like, yeah, I actually really don't. I actually really don't feel angry. I think I'm supposed to, but I don't actually feel that. So that's how you know. And then your external life starts to change. So that is where human design is absolutely supportive of this. And Forest Reiki is absolutely supportive of this because it's all about, it's not your mind's place to make decisions or process feelings. Your mind can't even process feelings. It's not a feeling thing. Your body is the one that processes the energy of emotion. Your mind is the one that puts the labels on it and calls this emotion good and that emotion bad. Good feeling. No, bad feeling. Your body's just like, can we just fucking feel something? Instead of eating another sad croissant, can we just feel the anger? Instead of eating more crunchy, angry chips? Can we feel the sadness instead of sticking our face in the bong again? Or whatever it is that you do. Pick a fight. Go to bed. Overshop. Get obsessive and OCD-ish about the spice cabinet. Whatever it is you do, right? It's just sidestepping. And we can... Okay, so there's like a whole industry based on finding... Well, let's say there's a multiple industries based on that question. Well, we need to find out why. Okay, there's a whole field and a million billion therapists now to help you figure out why. How do psychics stay in business? You know, we go to them because we can't figure out our own why. We want someone to give us an answer. So we go to a therapist. We call up a psychic. And I'm not saying any of this is wrong. I'm saying at some point you outgrow it. If you want to. You stop seeking other people's advice or opinions or why this and why that. If you have been around long enough, you may have gone through going to psychics or card readers or intuitives, and all of a sudden you can't get any relevant information. They're telling you stuff that's okay, but it's not what you really need, and you end up leaving dissatisfied. Or they tell you stuff that's like, you're like, I don't know who you're talking to, but that's definitely not related to me at all. You reach a point where you can't get answers from outside because you're in your stage of development that's like, hey, now, time to make the shift. Time to stop looking for the outside to tell you you're okay. How many clients do you need on your books for you to give yourself permission to feel okay, to take a deep breath and stop waiting for the magic number so that you can relax? How many hoops does your partner have to jump through so that you can feel okay, so that you can feel loved and cared for? How much do they have to do? It's never ending, right? It's never enough, so the bar keeps getting moved. This has been done to you, probably at some point, where people were like, more. How come this crinkle paper stays here this whole time and nobody's interested in it until I'm doing a podcast? All of a sudden, things got to get noisy. You know, how many dollars do you have to have in the bank before you'll let yourself relax and just feel and just be and stop trying to change everything? Stop looking for problems. I was telling my mom today, well, here's one more to consider. How many pounds do you have to weigh? When is the number on the scale good enough for you to stop beating yourself up for your size or the number on the scale? I was telling my mom today that one of the best things I got from working with Corey Michelle, it's just meetcoreymichelle.com, is the shift in perception that problems are just a request for expansion. I'm probably bastardizing that, and I'm definitely paraphrasing. But when you spot something in your environment that's a problem, it's just asking you to grow, to expand, to do something, but it doesn't involve that 3-letter word. It doesn't involve asking why. It involves feeling for the energy that's trying to come through. So if you are looking out at your life and you don't have the number you want, whether that's clients or money or numbers on the scale or whatever it is, your stick of measurement, you take note of what energy arises as you're thinking those thoughts. How are you feeling? Tense, stupid, confused, angry, victim-y, sad, what are you feeling when you're thinking about it that way? Like there's not enough or there's too much. Not enough money, too much butt. Whatever it is. How do you feel about that? Okay, and then how would you rather feel? And note that this problem gives you the opportunity to clarify. To go, oh yeah, I've been feeling this way for 72 and a half years. Reckon I might want to try something a little different. I think I'd rather feel like those numbers are outside of me and have absolutely nothing to do with how valuable I am or how much worth I have or how much love I deserve. You can make your partner jump through hoops all day long. Which, honestly, if you have a partner that will let you make them jump through hoops all day long, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for you doing the asking, and it sure ain't healthy for the one doing the jumping. So, what will it take? Instead of asking why this is, ask, how do I want to feel? I have this fill in the blank situation, and here's how I feel about it, blah, blah, blah. And here's how I want to feel about it. I want to remember that everything is fine. I want to remember that life is working out for me. I want to feel curious, observant, compassionate, loving, supportive, calm, resourceful. I want to feel about situation X like this, 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 and this. And then you do whatever you need to do to feel like that. Okay, so then you go through all that. Hopefully you're tracking this. Then what do? So you feel like shit on a stick, but you want to feel like puppies and lollipops. You want to feel like everything's just fine. You want to feel secure and safe and inspired. Okay, so you don't feel that way already. That's when you can take a look at what rules do I have around feeling happy. I very rarely feel happy. I wonder why. Then you smack yourself across the face and you say, we're not asking why anymore. I bet I could feel happier. Let me stretch into that. Let me feel my way through till I run up against the wall that says, That's as happy as you can be. If you try to be happy more than that, you're going to get in trouble. Right? And then you go, let me look at something that makes me a little bit more happy. Let me prove to myself that I can stretch my happiness threshold. I can raise it up. I can grow my capacity to hold joy. And guess what? The room doesn't explode. Your head doesn't fall off. You're still here. I wonder what it would take to feel a little more happy, a little more love. Ooh, that feels so uncomfortable in my body. Okay, well, let me sit with that. Let me breathe with that. Let me be curious and loving and compassionate around that. None of that requires you to go find a why. Now, when you're doing that and you're going on feeling only, sometimes the why does come up. You do remember, oh, something terrible happened and I couldn't process it, so I became afraid of spiders instead. Oh, I remember when I got scared when I was 7 because I got lost in the grocery store or whatever. Like, it might come. You might remember an existence in an alternate time or place. Who knows? But you don't go looking for it. It will come to you if you really need to know it. If you really need to know it. If it's going to serve you. If you're going to be able to make a connection that's then going to further you on your path, in your work, whatever. If you need to know it, it will come to you. You don't have to go find it. And then when you have your, oh, okay, I get it, it still stays resolved. You don't find yourself back in the same place 3 days later or a month later. It stays gone or different. It becomes different. It stays different, and then eventually it's just gone. It's just a memory. Oh, I used to freak out about stuff like this. How funny. I didn't even notice it. Thinking about it, I remember now that it did go away, and I thought I should still freak out about it, and then I just forgot to freak out. Isn't that funny? We're not meant to stay in trauma recovery mode forever. We are meant to move through the emotion. If the why comes, you can explore that. But regardless, you're going to feel better because the emotions will be resolved. They'll be integrated. You'll be okay. And at that point, you get to go look for the gift. You get to explore the wisdom in the wound. The answers that we're looking for are really in those wounded places. But it's hard to find them when you're in the thick of it, right? You got to process the raw emotion first. And then you can go, I wonder what the gift is here. I wonder why I set this up this way. What larger purpose could this serve? I wonder what I might be able to get out of this. I've been really stuck on Chiron, the centaur, the one who got a wound in his leg, and it never healed. And we have, according to this myth, Greek mythology, we have medicine now because in his endless search for healing, a way to heal his leg, he discovered all the other kinds of healing methods. And the centaurs were like a rowdy bunch, but he was known as the wise, kind, compassionate one. He was different. He was the one who was sought out for support and wisdom. He wouldn't have been that way without the wound. The wound brought that to him. The wound required a restlessness, a need to explore. It was a driving force for the course of the lifetime. What if you started to look at your wounds not as something to heal and get rid of and forget all about and spend all your time wishing those terrible things had never happened, and instead you move through the emotions of them, see how the stories got wound up if you need to, And then start to look at those as some of your greatest gifts. You can't do this in the thick of the pain. I'm telling you, that's when someone says, well, you just need to forgive that perpetrator, and you want to murder them. Or it hurts you to the core because the timing is so wrong. You don't say these things. You don't try to do these things if you're in the midst of the trauma, the pain. When the pain hasn't been felt, let's say to about 50%, so you have a little objectivity and a little resolution, then this is not the right time. What I'm talking about is when you are about 50% processed, you can think about things a little bit more objectively. You don't feel overwhelmed or swamped by emotion whenever you remember the thing. You're kind of on the other side of it. You're past the 50% mark, and you can start to do this other kind of work and go, okay, that happened. It was impactful. It was painful. It was all the things. And I've felt, honestly, in my body, I have felt enough emotion that now I can start to ask, where are the jewels in the ashes of this burned down house? Where are the pieces of gold here that I can use to build a whole new structure of a life that's bigger, better, more in alignment, more profound, more helpful, more offering to the world? How can I get the wisdom that's buried in the wound? The wound doesn't really go away. You become something different. You'll hear it called the new normal. You don't go back to the way you were. And once you get on the other side of it and you get integrated, you almost wouldn't want to go back to the way you were, because there's so much gift in the experience once the trauma is integrated enough that you can look at it. I hope this is making sense. All right, I'm going to stop there. I'm throwing out this podcast a little bit early because on November 11th, I'm going to have a 5-day free experience for you in a Facebook group. It is related to the big course coming up in January, which was called Journey Through the 9 Centers. But over the last 24 hours changed from wounded to wise. From wounded to wise. That doesn't sound right. I wonder if I'm saying it wrong. It just changed. From wounded to wisdom. I don't know. Something like that. If you're on my email list, I sent out an email tonight about it. You can just click the link and join the group. I'd love to have you. I'm going to be giving you some tools. Some practical tools that you can use to start to look at your wounds in a different way. From wounded to wise. That's it. Creating a life, the subtitle didn't change. Creating a life of abundance and love and joy with human design. We'll be using our human design as a framework. The point is nothing is wrong. You're not broken. You never were. You were changed. That's different. We're going to be reframing as much as we can in 5 days. Just as a sampler. It's not heavy duty like the course will be. It's not that the course is heavy duty. I don't know how to describe it. People who've been through my longer courses, we kind of struggle on how to describe it. So I really have to trust that people follow their feeling, their gut, their heart to bring them into the course, because, it's just hard to find the words for some things. Anyway, jump on in, get in the group, Facebook group. If you come to my Facebook page, facebook.com/MichelleWolf11, friend me, send me a note that, you're wanting to get in the Facebook group, or just go Google, the wisdom, nope, wrong again. And third time's the charm, go to Facebook, put in From Wounded to Wise. See if you can find it that way. Honestly, best way is just send me a friend request and then send me a note that you're not going to, try to sell me CBD oil or something. That you're actually looking for the group. So anyway, got to hurry though, because we start on Monday. And if you want to see the long-term group, now in the short group, you're not going to get pitched. I'm going to tell you about the group, but I'm not going to be like, now sign up now. I gave you all this free stuff. Now you got to sign up. No, it's a 5-day gift from me to you. I will tell you about the course, but I'm not going to pound it. It is thatmichellewolf.com/9 centers, because we will be going through the 9 centers, every energy center in the human design system in detail, feeling our way through. We're going to learn some stuff, but we're going to feel a lot. So if you're not down with feeling your feels and you are not ready to do that, don't even waste your money. Okay, as I say every time, think less, feel more. I'll talk to you later.